Welcome to Long Island's Rising Star. I'm your host, Karleen Leveille. Today, we meet actor and North High alum Jake Levy, who at the age of 8 years old started his acting career, and at 10 years old landed his first off-Broadway show. Now at 23 years old, he has graduated from UCLA, and in less than a year landed a role in the hit musical and off-Broadway show, Superhero. Please welcome Jake Levy.
Thank you.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Look, I'm surprised you have time for us. You know, you're doing big things.
Hey,
big
thank
things.
you, thank you. No, I always have time for Long Island. Hey.
Yes, because you grew up in Great Neck.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, all 23 years.
23 years, all 23.
Yes.
All 20.
Yes.
What was it like growing up in Great Neck?
I mean, it's interesting because it's you know, a skip away from the city.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely, you know, a suburban escape, I would say, from the city, which is nice because, you know, I think at least for me, the city is a little crazy especially to be there every day. So it's nice to have good old Great Neck as an escape.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you say to be there every day would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
But you just completed Superhero.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you technically were there like every day.
I took that Long Island Railroad every day for rehearsals and for the show, and you know, there were obviously days where it's like I don't want to take that Long Island Railroad, but I did, and you know, it was super fun. And once you get into the routine, it becomes a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the folks out there who don't know, okay, so Superhero, I'm like, I see capes. I mean, I see me.
Right.
But was that really what was going on? Were there superheroes in capes, or?
So no, I think it was like a departure from sort of the campy idea of superheroes. However, that theme was strung throughout. It was primarily about a son and mother and their relationship after the death of their husband and father. So it takes us on that journey through that relationship through the lens of this sort of kid who has this fantasy of, and who's very into comic books. And so he sort of guides the pages of his comic book that he writes, guides the story.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. And you played
I played Dwayne. I played the bully.
Bully?
Yes.
You a bully?
I was a bully. I know, because most of the roles that I've ever played, you know, up until that point, I always play, you know, the nice guy. You know, never the mean guy. Other than I did Jigger Cragen in Carousel in college, which was the other sort of mean guy. But other than that, you know, so it was definitely an interesting role to have to take on, but it was super fun. So yeah, I was the bully who bullied Simon, the comic book kid, throughout the story.
Well, so first of all, is this your bully? Because you every time you was bully, you're like, bully.
Yeah.
Bully.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dwayne, the character that I played, he was a very stereotypical bully, sort of making fun of Simon and really putting him down.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at you, and ladies, I'm gonna call it out. He's a handsome man. There's nothing bully about him. Like, I'm just look. I mean, hey, I wouldn't be doing a service to my viewers. Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
just
you.
saying, you know, follow that gram, y'all.
Hey, come on, official Jake Levy.
Hello.
Which camera do I look
right,
at?
that one over there. So, you know, you played this bully. Like, how did you prepare for this role? Because you know, like you said, most of your roles up until that point have been.
But yeah, preparing for a bully was interesting because me and Kyle off stage are super close friends. So it was so strange to have to yell at him on stage and sort of be the bad guy. Yeah.
When you act, do you find that it emotionally drains you or adds to you? Have you ever found yourself like, whoa, like this is too much, or whoa, like this is too happy?
Yes, I think it was more towards, I wouldn't say Dwayne, but I would say I played Mick Hamilton in a production of Steel Pier in college, and that one was draining. He wasn't a bully, so to speak, or a mean guy. He just but that was how it came across. And it was draining because each night, I had to really yell and really give this side that I don't like presenting to anyone, and no one ever deserves that pain. So having to do that every night was hard. And again, this was a shorter run at UCLA because our shows only run for about 2-3 weeks. So I can't imagine in like a long run, God forbid it was, Steel Pier on Broadway, to do that every night. On the other end of the spectrum, a role like, Dear Evan Hansen, that role, like, of just giving so much of the sort of opposite end of pain and despair and really putting it out on the stage every night. I mean, the beautiful performance by Ben Platt, which I still think on. It's so amazing to watch actors, and I, especially learn from that, to watch them give themselves every night to the audience and to everyone else on stage. Is truly an inspiration. So I try to carry that with me through whatever show I'm going to do in the future, whether it be mean or that sort of innate despair. I love auditioning for all different types of roles, because I think when people see me and most of the roles that I've played, it's the romantic leading male,
right?
Which I love,
yes.
But. There's not, sometimes those roles lack a little, depth. And so I love playing, roles that sort of are a little stranger and sort of more interesting characters. There's still the depth to the character, and there's so much going on other than, hey girl. That's, because a lot of the romantic leads are that, sadly. Yeah.
I'm all down for hey girl.
Yes, hey,
look,
hey girl.
Ladies, it's real. He just hey girl to me just for this, and woo!
Well, yeah, I've got it down to a science now out of all the roles that I've, so many fun ones on the list, but but you get it down to a science of how to play the hey girl role.
So you got the lean. He got the lean.
It's the lean and the puff the chest and the
Does that work for ladies? Like hey boy.
Yeah, in shows it does. In real life, it's much more complex.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's talk about your trajectory and your journey. You started at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
I attribute it all to my sister, my older sister, who had really started the process, obviously 2 years prior. And I just watched her and I was like, oh, wow. Like, and we were always close growing up. So just watching her do her thing, and I was like, oh, I want to be a part of that. So we took a class, and on Long Island, the Actors Garage, run by an amazing woman, Anne Gray, and we did that, and I just sort of, started really falling in love with it. Mostly just, being out there and just having fun was how I saw it. But then through that class, we got the agents, and then I just started going to the city, and then I got to have fun and be out there in front of casting directors who then were like, yes. So I think that's really how it all got started, as more of an activity and a fun thing that I did. But then obviously here we are. So
right, here we are.
Yeah.
And not just here we are. You're being real humble. But let's give it, because you not only did you start at 8 years old.
Yeah.
By 10, you landed your first Broadway show.
That's a fun story.
Give it to me.
Because my agent had called, and she said, hey, we know you've been primarily doing commercials, and up until that time before the show, I had done like 3 or 4 commercial spots, and I had never really delved into the world of theater. And so when this came out, she's like, I know you really don't do theater, but we're gonna send you out for it and have fun, do your thing. And I liked singing, but it wasn't my main thing. My main thing was smiling on camera and stuff like that. But so we go in, and then I sing my song, and sure enough, as I'm singing, and they stop me and they go, it's you. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah, can you go outside? And then I want you to come back in and read the script that they gave me. And I come back in. They tell me in the room, it was director Michael Montel for Take Me Along. And he said, yeah, we're choosing you. There's guys in the waiting room waiting to go in for their turn. And I walk out, they're like, just hang out, we're gonna print out the script for you and you can take it home. So sure enough, they bring in the other guys. I'm sitting there like, I'm amazed.
At 10 years old.
At 10 years old, and the first sort of theater that I've ever auditioned for. So that was very exciting. And I was the only kid in the show, so I was really surrounded by this amazing cast of professional Broadway and off-Broadway actors. And I learned so much. And that was when I was, got the theater bug that same year. To contrast off-Broadway, in my elementary school, I did Peter Pan and was cast as Peter Pan, and that was good old E.M. Baker in Great Neck. So it was funny walking into rehearsals for, which was just after-school rehearsals at E.M. Baker, holding my script up like this, because that's what I learned in off-Broadway, and all the other kids are like,
just like,
fly, Peter, and I was just having so much fun with theater at that point that I was trying to be as into it as possible.
So I have questions, because at 10, did you recognize the gravity of what you had accomplished at that point?
Not at all. I was, again, just having fun and enjoying my life. Which happened to include this off-Broadway show. And my mom got a kick out of it too. We would, get on the Long Island Railroad, go into the city. She would sit in for rehearsals, and she's like, "Oh, look at my son,"
Does she sound like that?
Yes, that is what she's. It's the Long Island Jew from Great Neck voice. But yeah, so she was really enjoying it as well. But no, I had no idea that this was sort of a grander thing. And among that, getting my equity card, which was something that is so pined after, especially in college. When I got to college, everyone's like, "Oh, I don't have my equity card yet," and so it's like I don't know if I want to go to New York, because it's a fairly important thing to have your equity card in New York. Just it makes it easier. But yeah, it's like, and here I am having it, with my name on it at 10 years old. So it really made the process easier when I started, getting older and getting into the more sort of professional side, when I realized the, grandeur of what I was doing.
Okay. So like you said, you walked into, you get this role at 10, you're in school in Great Neck, you're going back, and now you're in performances holding your script. Do I have the arm
yes,
right?
Yes, the arm, yes.
Okay, great. And did you ever feel isolated or somewhat, isolated, because you're walking into plays for school performances like this, pretty primed and proper, but then everyone's like, "Who's this guy?" And then you're going back and forth to see, like, did you miss playtime? Did you miss Power? I mean, it wasn't Power Rangers. I mean, what was it for you? Like Dora? I don't know.
That I missed as a kid.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I even thought I was missing anything. I just felt like this was the excitement of being a kid. I know it wasn't really necessarily a kid thing to be going into the city and being in a show, but it was my reality in my childhood. Yeah, sure, I missed playing video games, the extra time to play video games, and the extra play dates with my friends, but I still found time for those, and had a fairly normal childhood, even when I was missing either weeks or days filming commercials or a film or something like that, where I wouldn't get to necessarily enjoy the being a kid thing.
Okay. If you could give our viewers just what was that one lesson or one tool that Great Neck North High gave you as a performer? What was that?
I don't know. I think maybe discipline. I think they have such a strong program at Great Neck North and Great Neck South. I mean, the whole public system has a great theater program, and they really discipline us to do the work and to show up on time and all the above. And I think it was, through the shows that I did and, even like Great Neck, like North Middle School and high school, we really learned a lot. Dan Tomaselli, John Gellert, all these, they were the heads of the drama program. And I feel like I learned so much from their energy and from their, professionalism around the business that I just now carry that with me.
And you just dropped some key gems, I think, for any aspiring actor. But do you want to add something to that, like your advice to anyone in Great Neck or anyone who's just watching across the world about starting your career? Really
focus and do the work in terms of finding an agency. And if you don't have an agency, which it's hard to find an agency these days, you can self-submit. There's so many things out there that make it possible for anyone who wakes up and decides they want to be an actor that day, which is exciting. They have so many different websites, Actors Access, Backstage, all these different ones that you can make a profile and put on a resume and a couple of cute photos of yourself and then just submit to all the projects that list themselves there. So it really makes being an actor, I'm going to put it in quotations, easy. It's not easy.
Accessible.
Yes, accessible is great. Yes, Actors Access. But yeah, it makes it much more accessible to anyone. But again, starting yourself in a city is very key, because you can't dip your feet in all the different waters and hope to sort of create relationships with those casting directors and those producers or whoever or whatever projects you're going for. It helps to station yourself somewhere.
But so it seems like you had like this carpet laid out for you, but I'm sure there were challenges and obstacles.
Yes.
What were they?
Yeah, you get to this age.
What age?
Everyone gets to this age of like about must be 12 to about 13.
Okay. 12 to 13.
No one wants
millennials, I'm sorry. 12 to 13. That's.
Yeah, it's that age. Really just the whole puberty age. Is not fun for anyone. No one in the world is it fun for. And so you're at that in-between age where no one wants you. And because I went from the little, cute boy who can smile and say, anything that you throw in front of him, to this sort of, in-between, sort of lanky kind of kid. And so during that period of time, it was definitely a dry spell, I would say, in terms of auditions, in terms of booking things, and so for me, that was, I guess, the time to focus on the art and the craft, and really learning a lot at that time. To then, when I got to sort of the riper age, be able to start booking things again and start being in shows. And I think that was the beautiful part about, when I was in middle school during that time, to be able to do the shows there and, have a childhood and make friends and get all that experience, which then, I always also say as an actor, it's like anything that you do that's a part of your experience, you can take into your work with you, which is the cool thing, that I had this normal sort of existence in this, fairly regular suburban town to then carry into all the work that I do, which is very exciting. Yeah.
So 10 years old.
Yeah.
You knew you did your first musical. Yeah. And you knew that you were like, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so at what point? So 10, you're like, you're just cruising. You're going. You're going, right?
I was living my best life.
Living your best life at 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I was living my best life at 10.
Right.
And then 12 is like.
Yes.
My best life is over.
A little bump in the road.
In the road. When did you know like this was the life that you wanted to pursue? Because let's be transparent here.
Yeah.
A lot of child actors don't continue on. They don't, they've done a few shows, but then they get regular jobs.
Right.
When did you know, like, no, regular job for me is acting all the time?
Strangely, I think it was that little bump in the road. Because you know, it gave me a time to reflect on the success that I've had, how I, you know, saw it, and did I enjoy it, and is this something that I would want to carry in to the rest of my life? And that was when I also really started focusing on voice after the show, because I was like, oh, I really want to sing. And, you know, put a little time into dance, not as much as I should have. But that was when I was like, you know, a major growth for me as a human being going through puberty, and also my career and my sort of knowledge of theater and film and TV. So I would say it was that little bump in the road where I was like, should I be doing this for the rest of my life? And then when I got roles in, you know, the middle school and the high school, and I was getting lead roles, and then I think I sat down with, it was either junior or senior year of high school. I sat down with like my, you know, teachers, and I said, you know, hey, is this something that, from your professional acumen, is this something that you think I could be doing for the rest of my life successfully? And I, you know, got their sort of approval. I got, you know, the parents' approval of, you know, that I can do this. And then I sort of have to sit with it myself, of course, the most important part of that equation. And I said to myself, you know, I really think that I can do this. And I truly think that's also half of the success, is being able to believe that you can do it. Because you walk into these auditions. A good friend and mentor of mine, Adam Cantor, who's also Long Island, Great Neck North.
Great Neck North in the house.
Oh my God.
I feel like we need like a secret handshake or something.
Yes, I know, a Great Neck handshake or something.
Yeah, all of that.
But yeah, he gave me just a really good piece of advice. It's like, you know, you're walking into these auditions and they have a problem. You need to be the answer to that problem. And as long as you walk in being like, hey, I'm here to help you. Like, as opposed to like, hey, oh, here, I'm sorry, here, I'm gonna sing for you. You know, it's those people that don't really get to the opportunity to be in shows and make it, because the casting directors will see right through that, of that, you know, afraid, you know, person, as opposed to if you walk in with the confidence of that, you know, and you don't want to be pompous or anything, or, you know, too much, but it's just as long as you're confident in your abilities and the work that you're presenting to them, you know, that's all they're asking for, and then they'll cast you, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Okay. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. So let's talk about, you mentioned some Great Neck alum.
Yeah.
Great Neck North alum, excuse me. But who are some of the people that you were like, yeah, I would love to work with them, or these are people I admire, like I'd love to follow their path?
Oh, wow. Well, so I just went to go see See a Wall and / A Life. It's on Broadway currently.
/ A
Yeah,
Life.
I was confused about it originally too, but it's a series of monologues, and it's just 2 monologues. And Jake Gyllenhaal is in it. Oh my God, I would love to work with him. I mean, obviously I've seen all his, you know, movies.
I'd love to see him. Hey Jake, if you out there watching this, call me.
Yeah, hey Jake, call me too. Yeah, he's, you know, he was just fantastic, and just watching the work that he did for a like 45-minute monologue where it's just him talking, and how to keep the audience engaged in, you know, the story that you're telling. Obviously the writing was beautiful as well, which he did not do, but performing that was just, you know, it was so cool to watch. Jake Gyllenhaal's up there. Matthew Morrison, sort of, again, another Broadway actor that translated to TV. And, you know, obviously most of his fame, I guess, came from Glee, but I, you know, have been following him since he was on Broadway, and all the shows that he did, and all his roles are just roles that I've always wanted to play, and you know, it would be so cool to work with him. And then a few to name off. I mean, Jeremy Jordan, Corey Cott, all these people that I've just, again, grown up watching, and really being inspired by their talents. To work with them would be, you know, would blow my mind.
So let's discuss some of your upcoming projects.
Yeah.
What's coming up?
Well, we just got some exciting news. I just got cast in the national tour of Anastasia.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes, Great Neck in the house.
It's gonna be so fun. I will be playing the lead role, which also blows my mind.
What else would you be playing, though, Jake?
This is right.
What else would you be doing?
This is right, Karleen. Yeah, of Dimitri. And it's crazy because there's, the childhood movie, or at least my childhood of.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. It was probably your preteen, right? Saved it. See, and of Anastasia, and so I grew up knowing that movie and watching that movie, and then now to portray a role that has been alive for so long in the world is very exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay. And let's again, you're a humble man. You're a humble leading man.
Yeah.
You graduated from UCLA when?
I graduated last year.
Last year.
Yeah, it was June of last year.
June of last year.
Yeah.
And you auditioned for this role.
I auditioned for this, so I did Superhero, as we mentioned. That was like a month, after graduation or two, and then did that. That took us into like the winter. And then there was, again, probably a month in between where I, went in for the audition and then heard back a week later. So it's been so, there hasn't been really any downtime, which is good and exciting. I came to New York thinking, it'll take a couple years to get to know the casting directors and to start working really at a grand scale, let alone, off Broadway or national tours, anything. But sure enough, in the first year, we did the off-Broadway thing, and then now we're doing the national tour thing, and it's going to be so much fun.
But for this role, because it's a role that you grew up and you watched in your childhood, right? And then there was a there was the Broadway
production. Yes.
And there was somebody who had that role.
Yeah.
Now this role is your role. What's your prep like? It's
always good to sort of watch who played it before and, the things that they did. Derek Klena, who originated it in the Broadway production, again, just one of those people that I've looked up to leading up to my career. And, watching, his ease on stage and how he portrayed the character, but then making it your own. You always want to, with any character that's been done before, sort of bring yourself to the character, I think, is very important because it gives your own humanity, which then brings life and breathes life into Dimitri and into the role. So as much as I love and admire Derek Klena's performance of it, mine will be very different.
You're just trying to say it's going to be better, but I'll say it for you.
I love you, Derek Klena, if you watch this.
I'll cheer for you. I'll cheer for you. Don't worry, I got you covered. It's going to be bomb.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm so glad that you came by. I'm excited about this new role for you.
Yes. It's going to be a great sort of step in my career towards the place I hope to get, which I don't even know what that place is. And I think that's the exciting part, is that, I'm just on this journey and I'm enjoying it along the way.
Yeah, and this is what Great Neck brings to you.
Yes, the wonders of Great Neck North and what it brings to
Hello.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jake.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you being here. I think our audience appreciates you being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're coming back.
Oh, I'll be back soon.
I want exclusive. I'm asking you on here. I want exclusive.
Oh, backstage tours.
I want exclusive access.
Front row seats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You didn't confirm that that's what happened, though.
It will happen. You will be there.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, you heard that.
And you guys will be there, too.
Yes, you guys will be there, too. Okay. How do people keep in touch with you?
Yeah, well, they could follow me on Instagram, which is @officialjakelevy, and you can also check out my website, jakelevyactor.com. I have some fun videos on my website.
They are fun. I've seen them.
Oh, she's done her research.
I stop people. That's what I do. So, if you are a rising star from Great Neck, Long Island, and you have a talent or a story that you want to share, please contact us at the information on your screen. It should be up right now. And you could be here just like Jake, telling us your story, talking to me. That's right, excited,
yes.
Right? Exactly. Well, thanks for watching. I'm your host, Karleen Leveille. Bye, guys.